Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, two gunpowder civilizations are clashing head to head, and we're expecting an explosive matchup as Mihai, playing as the Spanish in yellow, gets ready to take on Hera, playing as the Hindustanis in blue. Now, all the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to Feudal ASAP. Let's take a look at the civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Spanish are a paramilitary civilization that loves its gunpowder units. Spanish gunpowder units fire 18% faster, and their unique unit is the Conquistador, a heavy-hitting, less accurate mounted hand cannoneer with more HP but less range. Now, in order to help defend these costly units, the Spanish can train missionaries, which are basically mounted monks with less range, and also they can't really pick up relics. Now, before you think the shorter range on a missionary is a massive disadvantage, know that it may not necessarily be a problem, since the Spanish can upgrade both their monks and missionaries to convert enemy units quicker, and they can upgrade their missionaries to have a little bit of a +1 range boost. Now, to support their military industrial complex, Spanish villagers do build structures 30% faster. Their blacksmith upgrades cost no gold, and they receive 20 gold for each technology that's researched. So when our Mihai, our Spaniard in yellow, researches loom, we'll take a look. The gold pile will go down from 100 to 50, and then from 50 to 70 once he completes researching that upgrade. Now, why, oh why, did I call the Spanish a paramilitary civilization? Because their villagers can actually be upgraded to get a massive boost to their HP, more armor, and a massive attack upgrade, which, when you combine that with the sappers upgrade, basically makes Spanish villagers pretty damn good at taking down buildings, castles, towers, walls, even destroying units in the very later stages of the game. Now, immediately to the northeast, we've got Hera, playing as the Hindustanis, a civilization that pushes its players into an army comp made out of gunpowder and camel units. To start with, all Hindustani gunpowder units come with extra armor, and their hand cannoneers can be upgraded in what I think is one of the most deadly upgrades in the game to get extra range. Now, the Hindustani camels also come with a few cool features. To start with, they do have an attack bonus against buildings, which addresses my main concern with camels in general, which is that they absolutely suck at destroying buildings. Second, Hindustani camels do attack 20% faster, and they have access to the Imperial Camel Rider. This is a fairly strong, very tanky, super fast upgraded version of the already super awesome heavy Camel Rider. Now, to defend their hand cannoneers from pesky ranged units that might want to snipe them out on the field, the Hindustanis can field a second unique unit, the Ghulam. This is an anti-archer infantry unit that moves quickly, has high pierce armor, and attack bonus against archers, and whose spear can actually injure multiple units at once. Now, in order to support the quick production of these heavy, expensive units, Hindustani villagers do become progressively cheaper. They are 5% cheaper right now in Dark Age and will be 20% cheaper in Imperial. And the Hindustani economy can be made incredibly efficient by increasing the speed of all gold income by 10% and reducing the market commodity trading fee to a small 10%, which basically makes it the second best in the game. Now, just as I finish reviewing the Hindustanis, let's take a look at our Spanish base. He has researched loom. 50 gold has disappeared from his coffers, but take a look in 4, 3, 2, 1. That 50, boink, becomes a 70, a little bit of a rebate. Every time you research an upgrade or a technology or whatever the hell you want to call it, that involves any kind of gold expenditure. Now, looks like our Spaniard, off the back of 17 villagers, is heading up to Feudal Age. Let's take a look at his base and see where his resources are, where the pressure points are, and where the weaknesses are. He's got a nice little forest here to the back, but very far off campus. Wood lines, I don't mind them at all. A little bit far off campus, but in a nice kind of hat shape over his base. Easy to wall off, although it looks like he's choosing a bit of a closer wall off. Primary gold, nice and secure in the back. Primary stone, a little bit exposed in the forward position, but behind this forest, we'll see. Depends all depends rather on how he wants to wall himself in. And now Hera is also heading up to Feudal. 2 extra villagers, which means he's a minute behind. 2 extra gold patches to the left, 1 extra stone patch to the right. Not a terrible base, but overall a fairly open one. Speaking of open, look at Hera's base. His 3 forests are all in the backwards position, and he's got a few extra forests here. We can't really call it to the back of his base, because the back of his base is basically empty space, if there is such a thing. His primary gold a little bit off to the side, but not too terrible, not too exposed. Primary stone, just like Mihai's, is very exposed to the front. And he's got additional gold as well, as they always do, but his are very exposed and very forward. That is very sour for our Hindustani. They need a lot of gold. It's not exactly a civilization like the Britons where you can, you know, get a W without mining too much gold. The Hindustanis, they can pack a punch, but a punch in Age of Empires generally comes with a heavy price tag. Hera is going to hit feudal. Housed. That is not something we see every day. Look at that. Unable to start villager production. So instead, of course, he's getting town watch. One of the cool things I've noticed about pro players, the more I watch live streams, the more I watch them on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube or whatever, when they get housed, they use that as an opportunity sometimes, like we saw, to research an upgrade or two while they construct their house. Now, is that the most efficient way to play the game? Probably not, but it's better than waiting for this villager to finish constructing the house and then research something or then produce something. This goat, 9 food. This goat, 8. I was wondering why he's got 2 goats lying here, but pretty cool. I've seen a few pro players do that when they get housed. For example, I've seen very rarely they get housed in Dark Age, but it does happen. They just use that as an opportunity to research loom, which is pretty damn cool, in my opinion. Anyway, Hera's resources unfortunately placed. Mihai's are off campus as well, but a bit more secure off to the side. Not really in the right direct line of combat here. And what was Hera building here? Probably this archery range, which he now flips to the backwards position. Interesting. So his forward position is completely open. I'm surprised he didn't continue the wall off. I wonder why he's now rebuilt the archery range, or rather built the archery range closer to his town center. He is already under siege, is our Hindustani, by no fewer than 2 archers, 2 spearmen, and a scout. And what is he doing to respond? So far, not too much, because honestly, this is not exactly the biggest threat. The house still has about 200 HP. Skirmisher is going to do quite well against both archer and spearman. Now he needs to protect the skirmisher from this unit, which is exactly what he does. Oh, Mihai tries to poke in, but sees 3 scouts of his opponent, pokes out immediately. And I love the positioning here by Hera, zoning out this 1 scout unit from Mihai, but right as I say that, the scout takes a lot of damage. He is basically dead. 1 more love tap from this scout. Oh no, never mind. Decides to go for the other skirmishers. There we go. Finally does manage to get this one, but sacrifices his scout to do so, which means that Mihai's army is basically dead. It just doesn't know it yet. It really doesn't know it yet. And I'm surprised Hera is avoiding this fight so much. He's got 4 scouts and 2 skirmishers. Okay, instead he's taking a bit of unnecessary damage here, I guess, as he paths through the skirmishers to make sure that they can get a few volleys off. I mean, what's the point of it? Why is he not engaging? That spearman could literally die with 1 tap. Maybe he just doesn't want to get 18 more HP taken off his scout, which of course is, you know, makes a lot of sense. But that was a bit more micro intensive than it really needed to be, I think. Hera walling off the north of his base using the stone as part of the wall off. Now he's starting to wall off the western perimeter of his settlement. The south completely open. Hera, no villagers on gold. Mihai, no villagers on gold. Both players ensconcing themselves in Feudal Age, it looks like. Mihai going up to 5 scouts. Hera, 5 scouts. Spearmen for 1, skirmishers for the other. I don't mind this at all. Generally, there's a lot. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is there more micro involved in these kinds of battles than in later stage game battles, where it's just massive armies and you just, you know, you want to position half of your army here, the other half over here, or you want to switch them up? But I feel like in Feudal Age lately, there's just been so much more micro. It's because you're chasing, you're hounding down 1 unit, but you don't want to risk your 3 units while at the same time bringing in your counter unit. It kind of seems like there's a lot more opportunity for micro, and we're seeing a lot of micro in the Feudal Age, which I don't mind at all. Like I always say, these armies are not really meant to win the game. They're not really meant to destroy anything. Now, if there's an opportunity, for sure they will, Mihai going very far off campus, using this wounded scout, I guess, to look for relics. But if there's an opportunity, of course the players will pounce. Of course the players do want to win. If they could win in Dark Age, they would win in Dark Age. But my point is... What is my point? My point is... bear with me as my brain catches up to my mouth in a classic foot and mouth situation. No, my point is that these armies are not really meant to kill or destroy. I mean, scouts are not going to take down a mill in less than 5 minutes. They're not going to take down a house. They're not going to, destroy your economy again, unless something like this happens, where Mihai has just busted in. Hera a little bit too slow off the wall, but even now, the villagers with Loom should be able to escape mostly unharmed. One dies. But in later stages of the game, if these were knights, if these were paladins, if these were cavaliers, if these were anything, there'd be a lot more dead villagers. Anyway, rant is over. Hera has brought back his scouts to deal with Mihai. He's gathering his food. He's starting to mine gold. We know what that means. He wants to get his butt up to Castle Age, and Mihai is trapped between a rock and a hard place. And in comes a spearman as well. Manages to poke away at one of these scouts. Mihai escapes. Again, clumping up of the units. Something that is happening more and more. And now what is he gonna do? Is he gonna try to get some villagers? He's gonna try the HP on these guys. It's terrible. Oh, he splits them up, but there's one town center to the left, one I was gonna say spike. No, one spearman to the right. Okay. So Hera's happy to chase this unit all the live long day while he continues going out into the world, and of course gets him because he barely had no HP, and now this one is still just kind of hanging out here in the north of the map. How many relics have the players seen? Let's see if relics become an important factor in this game. None. How sour is this? The relic is right here. The relic is right here. So Mihai hasn't seen any relics, despite his scout being out on the map long before Hera has seen the relic to the north, and that's it. So both players, they're scouting a little bit lackluster. The important thing for them, though, I mean, I say lackluster sitting in the comfort of, my armchair general seat, but the important thing for them right now is just to scout paths and avenues of attack, which both players have absolutely done to each other's bases. Mihai's going to reach castle in about half a minute. Hera, again, a minute behind, just like he was before. This time, though, he has fewer villagers than his opponent because Mihai has killed 2, but even with those 2, he'd be down 1 villager. So Mihai's economy up and running, roaring. He's got 7 villagers on stone. He's got 550 stone. Are we like the Portuguese with the Spanish, the quick castling? He's got his market up. Is he just going to buy 100 stone? Let's take a look at what happens here. Nope, he's placing down another town center. Okay, so the castle will come, but not immediately. Oh, now he's buying 100 stone. Now he's at 640. Where is he going to place his castle? Will it be defensive? Will it be offensive? Oh, that is so sour. You reveal your castle to your opponent literally once it starts being built. Oh, that is very sour, and Hera uses his opportunity. No, he's not walled in yet. Does manage to finally get a villager kill of his own, but loses a scout for it. Might lose a second scout. Oh me, oh my. Mihai is losing 2 villagers here. Not the end of the world, but also not great. He could have handled that a little smoother with a quicker wall off. That was very unfortunate timing for Mihai. Fantastic timing for Hera to have his scouts right there. Not only did he get 2 villagers, now he knows he is going to be facing a conquistador assault, which is why he's starting to pump out skirmishers. Or maybe not a conquistador assault. I mean, what other point could this castle have if not to produce conquistadors? Yeah, there they are. Okay. I figured usually an offensive castle you can use, to attack your opponent. You can use it to zone them out of certain areas, but such a defensive castle protecting nothing but a few stone patches. This has to be for conquistadors. And right as I say that, one pops out. Hera finally has discovered this relic, has seen 1, 2, 3, hasn't seen the 4th one. Where's the 5th one? 1, 2, 3, 4 on the mini-map. So somebody's already got a relic. Somebody has a relic, and in comes our Spanish in yellow with the first relic get of the game as more and more conquistadors start getting pumped out. But Hera, he's up to 5. Now they're elite skirmishers. And where are they? They're all hiding in here. Upgrades +2, no armor. Armor not exactly the most necessary of upgrades against a unit like the Conquistador. I mean, it's going to punch a hole through you whether you have armor or not. It attacks on a 16, and the Skirmisher has what, 30 HP, 35 HP? More villagers pivoting to the right. Hera building a third town center. Our Spaniard with that quicker building feature already has his up. So our Spaniard is now 9 villagers ahead, even though army count is identical. And in come the conks. Wonder what Hera will do with these. Will he try to distract? Oh, now it's the reverse. Now it's good timing for Mihai. Terrible timing for Hera as he misses picking off 200 gold worth of monks. He could have very easily gotten those monks, and those would be just very sour for Mihai. His attack would be delayed. His relic count would be stifled for a hot minute there while he had to train more monks, and he doesn't even have the gold to replace them. He's sitting at 130 gold. Hera circling around the back, continuing to try to find what his opponent is up to. Maybe if he can poke and prod into a certain area here while Mihai isn't paying attention. They're like, exactly like that. At the same time, though, Mihai is in, sees the elite skirmisher, sees now they're +2/+1. Right as he pokes in, loses a Conquistador. Skirmishers are a fantastic counter to conks. The only problem, the only issue is you need a lot of them. Because again, yeah, they're 35 HP and they're 5, right now, I guess 5 pierce armor. Really against a 16 attack is not going to, there's no lasting power unless you significantly outnumber your opponent, I think. I think you need at least, oh, and a final. That's all she wrote for Hera's scout. Mihai in firm control now of his base. Hera blockaded here by a few Conquistadors. Anyway, I think the proper ratio should be anywhere from 2 to 3 to 1. So 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 2.5 to 1, you know, 5 skirmishers for 2 Conquistadors sort of thing. I think anything less than that, and you are exposing yourself to getting one-shotted to death, just like, exactly like this. And now, unbeknownst to Hera, or maybe beknownst to Hera, if that's a word, in comes the Mangonel, the Conquistadors. There you go. I mean, he lost 3 of them, but he wiped out the entire force. And there's your forward castle by our Spaniard, who will be able to get the stone. He'll be able to get the gold, but we've got a camel out of our Hindustani. Just the one, so it's not going to do much of a dent in these villagers. And yeah, he's going after the stone, because why the hell not? The camel comes out. The camel dies immediately. Conquistador's Siege Workshop. Where is the Siege Workshop? Very interestingly placed here in the middle of nowhere, undefended. Completely. I wonder if he built it right here just to keep it out of Hera's line of sight. Castle takes down the skirmisher. Castle taking down villagers. Oh man, what a beautifully placed castle. Can it reach the town center? It looks like it kind of can, right? The yellow line does certainly cross that corner. Oh no, Hera's losing villagers. You got a monk that has been plopped down into the middle of nowhere. He's got a relic pretty close by, but Hera hasn't seen it. Now we've got skirmisher versus skirmisher. Looks like a few skirmishers were converted by the Spaniard. Who's moving forward, wants to convert another one. Not the greatest attack round there, but the conch should be able to finish the job. There's only 2 skirmishers here. Their HP is down to half. I thought he would heal the conch with his monk. Instead, Hera just gets confused by which target do I target? There's so much happening, so much movement. Mihai has busted in, but there is no follow-up. All of his resources were basically spent on getting this castle up, and oh my goodness, he's taking the gold, he's taking the stone, and this is where Hera's resource positioning is just absolutely wrecking him and betraying him. Secondary gold, primary stone, tertiary gold, all in the hands of the Spanish. The only thing he's got is his primary gold. Oh my god, Hera, he's got no resources whatsoever. That is absolutely atrocious there for our Hindustani. Like I said, these are 2 civilizations, but particularly the Hindustani, where you need gold. So he's got to push. Mihai, though, knows this, and he's going to put up another castle here. Oh my god. What an absolute nightmare for our Hindustani. Okay, Mangonel on the high ground does withstand the shot. The one on the low ground does not. But a Conquistador does fall under the charm, let's say, of the Hindustani monk and converts and becomes a Hindustani Conquistador. Let's take a look at what actual resources Hera has. So he's mining his secondary stone, which we saw was very much to the north. He's got, in total, 10 villagers on golden stone. Mihai, 36 on golden stone. Where is Hera going? He is building houses. He is going for lumber. He has abandoned his primary gold because of this castle, but there's 2 patches here that can still be mined unharassed. Hera's gotten 1 villager on gold, and she's about to get hammered by this castle. What is he attacking, actually? No, never mind. The castle's attacking what? The stable? The barracks? No, the house? Oh, that is a sour thing there for Mihai. You've got a stable, you've got a barracks, and you're attacking a house. And Mihai is pushing in now through the south. But like I said, where is the follow-up? Where is the big destruction army? Destruction-causing army? Oh, sour there for Hera. I mean, he's in a dire situation. He's down 12 villagers. He's down 22 army count. But he's going to be an Imperial soon. I wonder why he rushed up to Imperial until I saw this castle. And that basically means he's going for Trebs. He's absolutely 100% going for Trebs, but the castle, again, a little bit late. A little bit late. At this point, every second is precious. Every moment that you give your opponent a chance to push in is absolutely disastrous for you. So Hera just now finishes the castle. Where's the Treb? Okay, he had to buy the wood. That's how sour his economy is, but Mihai is not paying attention. Mihai's not paying attention. There's villagers here. Why do I feel like this? Oh, no, it wasn't converted. It's, and all of a sudden, oh, Conquistador's getting villagers here. Conquistador's breaking off villagers here. What the hell are you? Okay, Conquistador's protecting, I guess they're in the parks department. This is the Leslie Nope Conquistadors up here, just guarding that fresh body of water. Hera has got a Treb out. He's got a second Treb out, but okay, Mihai finally does notice. He is not in castle yet. Where are his Conquistadors? Sacrifice every single unit you have. You need to get rid of these Trebs. If you can destroy Hera's Trebs right now, you will be seeing a GG on your screen. Instead, though, Mihai, he's going up to Imperial as well. He doesn't have anything here that can really attack into this Treb. Hera is sending a body of villagers. Where? Are they chasing a monk? No, they're building a lumber camp. Oh, look at this. 2 monks on a scavenger hunt, meeting each other in the middle of the wilderness. But there's no more relics here. All the relics have been accounted for. So these monks are basically just exploration monks. I don't know what the purpose is of those monks. Mihai desperately repairing his castle. He's got 1,000 stone. Like I said, rush in there, build some units, destroy these trebuchets. You're an Imperial as well. Where are your Trebs? Where are your Trebs? You've got 200 wood. You've got 1,600 gold. He's going for supremacy. Really? Is he going to use these forward villagers, these 9 villagers, to attack these Trebs? That would be absolutely bonkers. Their HP, by the way, I'll keep an eye on this on the left. No, he's going heavy cavalry. So Mihai's follow-up here. An interesting game plan. I mean, you build these 2 castles right in the forward position of your opponent's base, which suggests you're going to be pushing in at some point, or at least creating some kind of position for yourself. And your backup is Cavaliers. Oh, the monks. The monk gets destroyed by the villagers who, by the way, take a look at their stats. No, wrong villager. Take a look at their stats. 80 HP, 9 attack. Look at that armor. This is basically like a camel rider, right? +3/+4 with a 0 base. Mihai, his stone has been depleted. 650. We know what that means. He's going paladins. We are going to get to see Spanish paladins, right? Base of a 0. Yeah, exactly. So this is basically the same armor base as a camel rider. Man, supremacy. And another castle, but this time he's got an army hot on his heels. This time, though, he's got 12 conquistadors, which should absolutely shoo this army away. But no. Where are you going? Does he even need them? The villagers engage into the camels. They will be able to wreck these camels. They are heavy camel riders right now. What an absolute crazy bonkers game. And now Hera sees the Cavaliers in 40 seconds. He's going to see that they are paladins. Conquistadors, I guess, to the south said, you know, we have better uses than engaging into camels and skirmishers. We are just going to help our friends out here take on these camel units. But while they do that, these skirmishers are basically going to town on them. And Mihai's forward position absolutely gone, eradicated. Does manage to get his castle up, but all those forward villagers are dead. How many villagers does he have left? 5 villagers from all the forward villagers. Well, I should say 6. I mean, she's dodging as many javelins as she possibly can. Why are you still here? Why are you not helping your teammates out? And a massive scuffle in the forward position of Hera's base. He needs to get this castle up, but look at his secondary resources. They have been mined, depleted. Our Spaniard is very low on gold. He spent all his gold on upgrades, but 13 paladins, 20 conquistadors against 10 camels and 17 skirmishers. Our Spaniard is going to wash over this army. And I don't think there's a thing that Hera can do about it. Okay, taking more stone to the north here. He needs to plop down more castles, more defense. He's selling food for gold. He's selling a lot of food for gold. Why is he selling so much food? He is getting handcard at the moment. Our Spaniard has had handcard for a while. And now perfect positioning for the Spaniard paladins to engage with the skirmishers, conquistadors to help against the camels. But the conquistadors are getting kind of wrecked. At the same time, so are the skirmishers, and so is this one confused Treb, I want to say, in the middle of nowhere. I mean, Hera lost a lot of his army, but I believe Hera took the better trade here. He lost skirmishers. His opponent is losing paladins and conquistadors. I mean, conquistadors are 70 gold. Ooh, our Spaniard is making a pike transition. He sees the camels. He does not want to engage with them. Why the hell would he? The plus 18 attack bonus against cavalry is absolutely going to shred him to pieces. We've got a bit of a confusing situation here as both players, like I always say, great minds think alike when this kind of stuff happens. I love the spit roasting of this stone pile. I love when players do this and get 2 opposing mining camps or lumber camps or whatever it is on other sides, each side of the resource patch. But the game at the 47-minute mark has all of a sudden just slowed down. Has absolutely slowed down. Heavy camel riders, they are going to have a very bad upgrades when they engage with these halberdiers. Halberdiers, ooh, Mihai focusing on the attack upgrade, most likely for his paladins. But with halberdiers, the attack against camels, not really the important thing. Really, it's a bonus. Oh, this castle is now under attack. Mihai's got 3 trebs of his own. He's engaging with villagers. He's engaging with villagers. He's building a bit of a gate situation here. I'm trying to remember the word I'm looking for his trebs. And here we go. Look at how quickly they'll get rid of this. And they're just not dying to the castles. Man, they are taking a lot of arrow fire. What's in here? Just 1 camel, so no additional arrows whatsoever. But Hera's castle is now in trouble. He's got 1 treb. He's got 29 villagers finally on gold. But Mihai's villagers are moving forward. They want this gold as well. I mean, Mihai, for the duration of this game, has been in the driver's seat. But I don't know who's winning this game right now. I mean, the scores obviously tell us it's Mihai. But that just might be by virtue of how many units he's already killed. But based on what's on the field right now, 39 army count, 40 to 58, Hera's camels are going to absolutely swarm this. We're going Imperial Camel Riders versus Spanish Paladins. Now, Spanish Paladins, for a generic paladin, they are top of the line. And when I say generic, I mean a civilization that doesn't get any kind of features or bonuses. They're not the Spanish, I mean, they are the Spanish. They're not the Frankish paladins. Oh, this is not good for Hera. You should not be engaging with halberdiers with camels. They're not Frankish with extra HP. They're not Cuman with extra speed. They're not Teutons with extra armor. They are just basic generic paladins, but they have access to all, I believe, upgrades available to cavalry line units. And Hera's army is melting. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's see that again. So in the beginning of the fight, we've got 9 paladins en route, none of them on the field of battle. These skirmishers way out of position. Absolutely out of position. It looks like also Hera lost his castle down here to the Trebs. He's losing his siege workshop here. But let's see what happens, because once these skirmishers get into position, Mihai's army is kind of flimsy, isn't it? 18 skirmishers, finally with full armor upgrades, but let's see what happens. So I think Hera accidentally engages in with a few of these halberdiers, loses a few of the camels. And look at the skirmishers just now. Just now, what is this, like 10 seconds into the fight? They're just firing their first javelins? That's a bit weird. And even though they're on the low ground, that plus, what is it, against camels? 26 attack bonus. And all of a sudden, Hera's camels are just like dead. There's not much that he can do here. And now the paladins are in as well. The paladins are just, forget you camels. We are going straight for the skirmishers. Oh, the halberdiers wreck the camels to the left. The paladins wreck the skirmishers to the right. The center is the next juicy target. Hera rebuilds his mining camp, says, F you, you are not going to push my mining camp away after Mihai destroyed the one that was here. It also looked like there was a bit of harassment up here with conquistadors, but it looks like the Imperial Camel did manage to clean up 3 of them. But I think Hera, realizing the northwest of his base has been destroyed, and even though the army in the center is still alive, it's mostly skirmishers. 17 skirmishers against 7 paladins is not a fair fight. That's like me fighting a puppy, a Chihuahua puppy. It just wouldn't be a fair fight. Absolutely. And with the loss of those skirmishers will come the loss of the camels, which absolutely cannot engage into halberdiers. And with that will come the loss of 13 villagers. And Hera, he's got a decent amount of resources. Don't get me wrong. I mean, 600 food, 500 wood. What he doesn't have is positioning. Everywhere that he's going, he's under attack. To the south, he's safe for now with this army. And what does he have left? His entire armed forces are actually in the forward position here. He's got 2 camels somewhere else, but all of his skirmishers are here. Almost all of his camels are here. So once this army dies, and he doesn't know that Mihai is training 14 more paladins. I mean, we know that, but he doesn't. And holy moly, what a game. Our Spaniard cocky enough now, he's laming wood lines as well, realizing that there's no way Hera will have access to more wood than what he sees here on the map. And little does he know, though, that Hera has managed to sneak out 4 villagers here to get lumber over here. But man, look at all the blue dead camel bodies. What a fun game. Mihai in the driver's seat the majority of the game. Holy moly. This is surprising. 52 halbs to 86 skirmishers. I thought we saw a lot of everything. This game seems, I guess because it's just been action from minute 1, and it was crazy action in Feudal, which led to crazier action in Castle, which led to absolute bonkers clash in Imperial. I mean, heavy Imperial, camel riders against fully upgraded Spanish paladins is pretty damn bonkers in my books. But it seems like the game lasted a lot longer, that there should have been these should be different. I don't know. Maybe my sense of time is all wonky. I've spoken about this multiple times, that I sometimes don't know if an hour has passed or a week has passed. It's just very bizarre. Very bizarre being a new parent. Time means nothing. In any event, not to quote the Time Warp, which is a fantastic song from a fantastic movie. Anyway, Mihai, peak APM, middle of the game. Hera, peak APM towards the end of the game, with his usual 200 to 300. Economically, what do we think? How far? It's not even, is the Spaniard ahead? It's how far is the Spaniard ahead? Oh, that's disgusting. That's like 20% ahead. Relics not really playing a role. Hera, surprisingly ahead on wood, of all things. Food, down 5,000. Gold, down 5,000. Stone, down 3 castles worth, it looks like. Or 4,000 or so, not 5,000. I'm exaggerating for, artistic purposes, but man, kill count Our Spaniard, 39 villagers to 19. So villager count, economic damage, not the really, I think, the game deciding factor here. It's more just this one big battle where Hera has, what is this, 36 of his supply tied up in this forward position. I mean, it's incredibly brave, incredibly noble of these villagers to sacrifice their lives here to gather gold for the Hindustani Empire. Does he have any gold left? Yeah, he's got a bit of gold up here. His primary gold still exists. Damn. Okay. Hera mining as much as he possibly can, but just took an absolute terrible engagement here. And at first, I was very confused as to why Mihai was engaging with only halberdiers into an army that had a bunch of skirmishers. But the skirmishers, it seems like, were a little late to the party, and the halberdier follow-up was this guy. Oh, man, look at him rushing. Look at the trail of dust behind him as he rushes to slaughter as many camels, villagers, and skirmishers as he possibly can. And wow, what an incredible game just from minute one. Literally, Mihai was on the offensive from minute one, and we've seen Hera take on massively powerful opponents that are just battering and bruising him from minute one. We've seen it recently, and I believe he was Hindustani as well in that game where he circumvented his opponent's army, went to the south. That being said, Mihai, I said this 2 or 3 weeks ago when I cast the first game with him, or not the first game, but the first game recently with him. He's an up-and-coming player, and I should say up-and-coming. His Elos 25, 29, not exactly up-and-coming. He's already there. But he's on his way. He's taken on MBL. He's taken on the Viper. Now he's taking on Hera. I'm going to try to find a game, if I can, of him taking on Mr. Yo, ACCM, and we'll see what how he handles players that are known to be very aggressive. In any event, what an absolute fun game. What an absolute disastrous final battle there for our Hindustani in blue. And it is Mihai, our Spaniard in yellow, who takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.